Hi everybody, and welcome to our training video on entering and verifying a special open enrollment event in Benefits 24/7. And as your trainer today, my name is Debbie Crumples, and I'm a member of the Employee and Retiree Benefits Division Outreach and Training Team. So here are those important reminders again that the preferred web browser for logging into Benefits 24/7 is going to be Chrome. And here is that link that will take you out to the Benefits 24/7 training environment. Because for now, it is only a training environment, and I say this over and over until the live version of Benefits 24/7 is available on the PEBB Benefits Administrator website in early May. Okay, so once again, you can tell that I am already logged in as a benefits administrator with the Department of Ecology. So I am going to go down into the Manage Subscribers tile. I am going to locate an employee who's going to have a special open enrollment event. So I'm going to go ahead and search for the employee by the last name Brown. Go ahead and do a search, and voila, there is Kane Brown. And I will click next to his name, and I'll go ahead and click on Manage Associated Subscriber. So let's see, for purposes of doing this special open enrollment event, remember, we are in a training environment. So I have gone ahead and added Kane Brown as a newly eligible subscriber within Benefits 24/7. And this wizard, as the BA, you would be able to see that when you're logged in. But look at the eligibility date, the 31-day window. It's December 20th of last year to January 21st of 2023. Your employees would not see this on their dashboard when they're going into their login in Benefits 24/7 and do the special open enrollment event under their own login. So just know that's only there because you are the BA, and only recently did I create this account for training purposes. So, but let's say the employee up here, Kane Brown, wants to go ahead and add the birth of his child. So if you are doing this special open enrollment processing because this employee gave you the forms, you could just go ahead and click on this tab here. Or your employee, let's say they're just doing it from their own dashboard, which is down here, they can just scroll down the page on their tiles, and they could go ahead and click on this special open enrollment and account changes tile. So in today's demonstration and training, there are a few things that we're going to show you. So the first is a special open enrollment, which we're going to do today under Kane Brown to go ahead and add a baby to his account. There's also the opportunity to remove somebody as an account change or special open enrollment when a subscriber's enrolled dependent loses coverage due to a death or divorce or a dissolution of a state registered domestic partnership. So I'll go ahead and show that as well. And then here for the address change request. This could be a little bit confusing to your employees because this is not where they make address changes. This is where, when they have an address change, it has impacted their current medical plan availability within their new residential address. So for example, if somebody is enrolled in Kaiser at the moment and then they move to an area where Kaiser is no longer available, they would have to go in here under the special open enrollment and go ahead and say, due to a change of their residential address, they need to go ahead and elect a new medical plan during the year. So anyway, we will go ahead and demonstrate all three of those. So first I'm going to just click on this to do the special enrollment for that baby. So clicking on this tile just tells the employee, let's go up a little bit to make sure we catch all of this. So there's just some information here about what is a special open enrollment event in the event that your employee would just like to kind of read about that. And that talks a little bit about account changes, and that's where you would be removing someone due to death or divorce or dissolution of partnership, and also due to that address change that requires the employee to go ahead and make a medical plan change mid-year. So down here, it's just asking the employee to select the checkbox to the left to manage the event or request, and as you can see, there's nothing outstanding, no records available because this employee has not ever done a special open enrollment event. But this is where they would be able to go ahead. If one was in there, they could potentially click on a box that would say, I want to edit that, there's something that I did wrong, or I want to change. Or you as the benefits administrator could actually go in and do those things as well. They could also go ahead and cancel one that they started if they did not want to finish that because they realized they were not doing the proper enrollment, that maybe it didn't qualify for a special open enrollment event. So we'll scroll down the page a little bit further. So there's two boxes here, this one and this one. This is going to be for a true special open enrollment qualifying event, and this is where we will go down later to do removing somebody from the account. So here I'm going to click on the drop down box and we're going to say, what is the special open enrollment event? Well, we know it's a birth, so we'll go ahead and click on that. Well, what was the event date? So remember, for brand new babies being born, the event date is the date of birth. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and type in, let's say February 14th, 2023. And it's just saying here, as soon as we tell it what type of event it is, what kind of documentation would apply to go ahead and prove that this happened, right? To make it a qualifying special open enrollment event. So those are just some of the things, or the things that they could use to go ahead and have that verified. So we will go ahead and say, add this event. And then it's just, okay, a couple of things. Let me back up. So up here is where it's kind of already dropped down now into that where I told you earlier. You could go ahead and make changes on that if you wanted to. I can click on that, so I could either edit it or go ahead and cancel it. See the note here where it says only one event can be added in the pending draft or submitted status at any time. So because the status of this one right now is in draft status, Kane Brown could not go in here and add another event like a marriage until this one is actually verified, denied, or canceled by the benefits administrator. But the employee or BA could actually cancel the event using that cancel button up there, and then a new special open enrollment event could be added. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here. This looks very familiar to the regular enrollment process, and it's just asking, do you have dependents to add to your account? Well, yes, he does have a dependent to add because he wants to add this newborn baby, so we'll click yes and go ahead and click on next. Okay, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. So it's the same screen about dependent information. So we're going to go ahead and say baby Kane. And we're going to give it a birth date of, oh boy, just a second. I said 2/14, Valentine's baby. So we'll give it a birth date of 2/14/2023. We're going to say this is a little girl because we know he has the cutest little girls. Gender identity is a female, and here is the relationship. This is his child. And the computer, or I'm sorry, the application is automatically going to recognize that this is dependent without a disability because of the age. This time he does not have a social security number for this child, so we'll click that box, and then we're going to say, yeah, this child lives with the subscriber's same residential address. So now we'll add coverage to his dependent. Then it just takes us to the screen where it's asking which benefits would you like to enroll this little baby in, and we're going to say both medical and dental. And as you can see, it's going to bring up this little box that addresses an adopted dependent, and it's just going to let you, the BA or the employee as the subscriber, if they're doing their own special open enrollment event here, that the date that's entered for the dependent is going to be assumed that it's for a newborn, and therefore the coverage is going to begin on the date of that baby's birth. But if the subscriber intended for it to be an adopted dependent, then they should go ahead and click this box, because then the coverage effective date would be based on the event date that was entered for the SOE. Okay, so we will go ahead and click on Proceed to Dependent Review, because this is not an adopted child. So from this screen, it's just asking you to review the information that was just entered. So it's showing baby Kane, the baby's date of birth, what kind of dependent it is, that the baby will be enrolled in medical and dental, and that none of the surcharges will apply to this dependent. Because again, Benefits 24/7 is sophisticated enough to recognize the birth date and the type of dependent that this dependent is, and that none of these surcharges would apply to this dependent. So we'll go ahead and save and finish this dependent. Okay, and now it's going to take us out to the document upload page, where I will scroll down just a little bit. And again, this is where the employee can go ahead and upload those documents. Remember, as the benefits administrator, that you most likely would have that documentation in hand if you were doing this for your employee, because they had submitted the special open enrollment on paper forms. So I am going to go ahead and select the files. And because this is a special open enrollment event, and it is the birth of a child, they need to do two things when adding a dependent due to a special open enrollment. So they're going to have to provide documentation for the special open enrollment event that proves there was an event that took place mid-year to allow the special enrollment, and also a dependent verification document. So as you are aware, when they are adding a newborn, the birth certificate would serve as the special open enrollment documentation to prove that it is a special event, as well as it would prove the dependent's verification as this subscriber's dependent. So I will go ahead and upload the birth certificate for that child, and here it is right here. And if I go further down the screen, it's going to drop here. And it's just saying, what document type is that? And we know that it's a birth certificate, and it applies to the baby, right? And this is going to also be the document that they can use to verify the SOE event as a birth. So we'll click on that. And now we're going to upload those changes. And it's just saying that, yep, those documents were uploaded. Now we're going to elect coverage. So as you know, certain special open enrollment events allow the employee to make plan changes. So in this instance, if the employee decided for whatever reason they wanted a different plan, they could certainly do that. And then they could just go to the next page, click on that, and they could change their dental plan if they like. Maybe at this point they want to go ahead and use Willamette Dental, and they'll go ahead and click on Next. And now it's taking you out to the confirmation page, asking you to confirm the selections that you've just made. So just notice that right here, it's going to let you know that you've requested to change the medical plan from UMP Classic to the high deductible plan, and that you've requested to change the dental plan from Uniform Dental to Willamette Dental. So as we scroll further down the page, it's just going to show you that the baby has been added, and just notice that the coverage effective date is 2/14/23. So we'll go ahead and confirm and complete the tobacco attestation. Some information about that premium surcharge, click on Next. Now remember that this is going to apply to you, right? So this is the employee, or for your employee if you're doing this for them. So this is where the tobacco surcharge can either remain the same or be changed, and we're going to go ahead and click Next because we're going to leave it as yes, he does continue to use tobacco products. Go ahead and click through the legal notice screen, and it's just saying that $25 will remain on the account. We'll confirm and review. And this is where you will see that summary of coverage elections where the baby has been added with that effective date of coverage as 2/14/23, where the new plan coverage for medical is the high deductible plan and dental has been changed to Willamette. So we'll go ahead and click on next and next. Go ahead and confirm the legal notice. And then it says you're done, but in order to submit this as a finalized SOE request for verification, they must go ahead and click on this submit request. So this can be a little bit deceiving because in the regular newly eligible wizard, when people are making their initial enrollments, when it says you're all done, people just kind of go back up to the dashboard. But if I did that and did not click on submit request, this SOE event would not be added to benefits 24/7. So I feel like this is probably why we have that bigger message. And it's just really something that you want to be aware of and make your employees aware of. So we'll go ahead and submit that request. Okay, so now I'm going to go back up to the administrator dashboard for the Department of Ecology. So now that that SOE event has been put into the benefits 24/7, either by your employee or you as the BA, you're going to have to go out as the benefits administrator and verify that that actually does meet the criteria of a special open enrollment event, and also verify that this is that employee's dependent. So back up on your tile as a benefits administrator. Again, regardless of if the employee did this on their own through their sign-on in Benefits 24/7 or you did it in Benefits 24/7 under that employee, here's what you're going to see on this tile. Under the special enrollment event verification, it's going to indicate that you have some special open enrollment events out here. And that just means that you as the BA are going to have to click on that tile and go in and see what's hanging out there for you to verify. So you have a couple, and the only one that that refers to the example that I'm doing for training purposes is for Kane Brown. So as you can see, these are the pending requests. You have two of them, and that is the amount or the number that was on that tile on the previous screen that I just had up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Kane Brown. You can see that this is a birth or adoption, right? That the status is pending, still needs to be verified. The effective date, the event date, and when it was submitted, and when it will expire, and that there are documents. So when I click on that, it's absolutely going to bring me down to the subscriber Kane Brown and the verification documents for this SOE event. And as you can see, this is a birth certificate that has been uploaded into the system. So basically this area here is just letting you know as the benefits administrator what is being requested. So we're going to go ahead and open the document. So this little purple thing here, we'll click on that. And right now it just kind of has some text out there that doesn't really apply, but let's assume that this is that baby's birth certificate. We've gone ahead and looked at everything to make sure that it has the child's name, the birth date, and that it has the father or the subscriber or employee's name on it, associating this dependent to your employee. So if it looks good, we're going to go up in this corner, and this is really interesting. It looks like a little, I hate to say this because it really dates me, but up there in the right-hand corner, you can see this little thing here. It looks like one of those vinyl records, and some of you may not even know what that is. But anyway, we'll go ahead. I call it like the 45. So we'll click on that, and that's going to actually close out your document. And so we have said, yeah, that looks like a good document. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click on verify. I could deny that document saying, you sent me something that does not equate to qualified documents to prove this special open enrollment event. So if I say deny, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go ahead and deny that. I'm going to put the denial date in, and I'm going to say the document type, right, that you tried to send me. Here's kind of the drawback to the system, at least at this time. If you deny this SOE documentation, There's no way that that goes back to your employee through some kind of email or messaging system within the Benefits 24/7 application. And when you're doing your stuff like that now, there still is no way in the Pay One system. You have to reach out to your employees and say, hey, the documentation you provided does not meet the criteria, and here's what I need. So they won't know. It won't get an automatic message to them in the system. Again, you'll have to continue to do whatever your process in place is now when they don't give you the proper documentation. But we'll go ahead and say that this is going to be verified. I'm going to give it a verification status that I have verified it, that it's today's date, and what did they send me? Well, I'm going to say the birth certificate is good, and I'm going to go ahead and submit that change. So it's saying that it was updated successfully. So now when I go back out to the administrator dashboard, you will kind of come down the screen and it's going to say you only have one SOE at this time. And that's that other one that's hanging out there that we're not going to work on right now. Now, there is still one more step. You do have to do the dependent verification process. So over here on this tile, you'll see that you have 15 verification requests. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're not doing any other dependent verifications. We are going to kind of wrap up this process for Kane Brown's new baby. So we're going to come down here, and as you can see, it's showing all pending requests because that child still needs to have their dependent status verified. So I'm going to go here under the subscriber, right? I'm going to go here. This is a filter. It's going to let me like search. So I'm going to say, instead of paging down, I'm going to say, hey, I want to look for Brown, right? I'm going to key that in, and I'm just going to say, go ahead and filter that. And it's just going to bring me now Kane Brown. So as you can see, here is the dependent, the baby, not disabled dependent. And the status for the dependent verification is pending. Here was when it was sent in, and yes, there's a document. So I'm going to click on that plus sign, come down the page just a little bit, and again, here's that subscriber, and here is the dependent with that birth certificate. So a couple of things that I wanted to say here is we can go ahead and look at the birth certificate and verify all that the information is on there. Go ahead and click out of that. But remember, on this child, we did not know the child's birth social security number. So see right here, the social security number continues to be automatically provided by the system. So anytime that you see a social security number like that, just know that you want to let the employee know to please let you know once that social security number has been provided so that this can be added to the system. So I'm going to go ahead and say that was a good document. Again, if you wanted to deny that, you could put that information in here, but again, you would have to reach out to your employees outside of the Benefits 24/7 system because they will not be getting any kind of automated message. So we'll verify it, saying that it's been verified. Today's date is the verification date, and it is a birth certificate, and I'm going to go ahead and submit that change. So I'm going to go back up to the administrator's dashboard. I'm going to go down and click on Manage Subscribers. Now we're going to go ahead and search for this employee, Kane Brown. Click on his name and do a Manage Associated Subscriber. So now I'm going to go down to the Manage Dependents tab, and you will see that this child has been added, and over here the verification status. So this child is good to go. Here's all the information about that child. Okay, so I'm going to go back out to the administrator's dashboard. Okay, so now we're back out at the dashboard, and I would like to demonstrate how to remove a dependent mid-year due to a special event that allows removal of a dependent. So we'll go ahead and click on the Manage Subscribers tile. I'm just going to search for a general employee by typing in the letter A, do a search, and I'm just going to go up here and choose this first employee and manage this subscriber. So I'm going to come down the screen just a little bit. Okay, so right now this employee up here under the managed dependents has a spouse that they have and it's been verified. I will go back to this employee's dashboard and this newly eligible wizard is going to be out there. Just remember that your employee, if they log in to do this special event change to their account, would not see this, okay? So anyway, I'm going to go down on the subscribers dashboard here, and I'm going to click on this special open enrollment event and account changes to go ahead and take care of removing someone from their account. Okay, so as you can see, it's taking us out to the special open enrollment events page. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And here in this yellowy green area is the history for doing SOE events. Just notice that they're all canceled because, again, we are out here in this training environment testing and playing with it to make sure that we can, the functionality is working and that we can train people. So I'm going to just show you how to go ahead and do this special change event mid-year. So it's not going to fall into our typical SOE qualifying events area, but what I'd like to do is remove this dependent spouse due to a death. So that's where this is going to come in. It's going to be for other events or account changes. And when I click on this, you can see the option is going to be death or divorce. So I'll click on that, and immediately it's going to bring up the documents that are going to need to be submitted by the employee that will allow us to remove this dependent from their account during the middle of the year. And remember, this is a general conversation when your employees have lost somebody due to death, that they do have to provide a death certificate, because if they didn't and we just took people's word for it and removed a spouse mid-year, that would leave them without coverage. That would not be legally okay for us to do. That's why we ask for that documentation. So I'm going to go ahead and key an event date as 03/25/2023. I'm going to tab over. I don't need to override that coverage effective date. I'm going to go ahead and add this event. So it's just taking me to the dependent review, and it's saying right up here, please use this section to let us know which dependent the divorce or death applies to. So here are all of the dependents who are on this subscriber's account. We know that it's the spouse we want to remove, so it's just saying, please let us know the event for removing this dependent. So we're going to go ahead and click on death. And it's just saying that if the date is not correct, please cancel this, delete it, and then create an event with the correct event date. So the death date is correct, which means coverage will end from the PEBB coverage under the subscriber's account on 3/31/2023. So we'll come down the page and go ahead and upload documents. So this is where your employee would go ahead and select the file to provide that death certificate. If you are the VA keying this for your employee, you're probably going to have a paper version of that. So you're going to go ahead and just click through this part, because when we get to the SOE verification part of this process, that's where you would go ahead and do that with your own kind of eyes, taking a peek at that paperwork. So we're going to go ahead and select files, upload a death certificate. As you can see, it's loaded here. We're going to come down the page. It's dropped down here. It's asking the document type is a death certificate. So we don't need to click any of these boxes when we're removing the dependent, because it's not to be used to verify that dependent's status as a dependent, but we will come over here and say we're going to use this document to verify the special open enrollment or special event, and that is the death. So we'll go ahead and proceed to confirmation. It's just saying that, okay, we're confirming that that got uploaded. We're going to proceed to the next confirmation. And basically, it's just the legal notice, and you're going to go ahead and confirm that. It'll take you out to step 6, which just says you're all finished, but please go ahead and click on that submit request button, because now this will take that out to the SOE verification process. So we'll go back out to the benefits administrator dashboard. Now keep in mind, if your employee did this, when you're out on your dashboard every day, you would see that, oh, look, I have some SOE event documents that I need to verify. But also, if you're the one who's actually inputting this into Benefits 24/7 for your employee, you would just know automatically to come out here and go ahead and verify this SOE event. So we're going to go ahead and click on this tile. I'm going to go ahead, well, I was going to do a search, but I guess I don't really need to because we only have a certain number of pending SOE events. And I know that it was this employee and it is for the death or divorce. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. As you can see, it's pending. But I'm going to come down the screen. It's basically telling me for this employee, there is a death certificate, and here's what's going to be happening. They have requested that their spouse be removed as a dependent, be removed from dental and medical effective these dates. I'm going to go ahead and open that document. It's a death certificate. I am going to go ahead and close that out, and then I am going to go ahead and verify this document. Now again, if you did not get accurate documentation, you could deny this, and again, you would have to reach out to your employees as you do now to get the proper documentation to go ahead and verify this. So the verification status is going to be verified. The date will be today, the date that I'm doing it, and I'm going to say the document type is death certificate. And it's saying that notification was provided no later than 60 days from the end of the month in which the event occurred. So that's really a question. It's asking you that as the benefits administrator. And yes, the paperwork was provided timely. So we're going to go ahead and click yes and go ahead and submit changes. So it just lets you know that that SOE updated successfully. So we will go back to the administrator dashboard. I'm going to go under the manage subscribers tile, and I am going to go ahead and pick up that employee again. I'm going to manage that employee, and I'm going to go ahead and look at their manage dependents tab right here. I'm going to see what happens with that spouse. So we're going to go ahead and click on that spouse, and it's showing that this spouse was removed from coverage due to becoming deceased on the 25th of March. And it's going to say that yes, the 60-day indicator applied and that coverage will end for this dependent. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to the benefits administrator dashboard. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and pick up another employee to demonstrate how to go ahead and let the system know that the employee has made a change to their residential address, their current health care plan is no longer available in their geographical area, and they need to select a new plan mid-year. So let's go ahead and go to the Manage Subscribers tile. I will go ahead and choose an employee here, click on them, and go ahead and manage them. Again, just please disregard the newly eligible wizard, and if you are the benefits administrator doing this, you can actually do it from this tab here, or you can come down to the subscribers dashboard where they would also be doing that. So we'll go ahead and click on that account change tile, and we've already reviewed so much of what's on this page, but here is where the event, well, actually, it's unfortunate. Here, let me explain something. That up here, it says account changes, that this is where an address change could take place, and you would go ahead and select a new medical plan. Well, that's probably a little misleading where it's at the moment, that account change information would fall down here, because it does not. The account change information falls under an SOE, so just kind of know that, and we will talk to the developers to make sure that they get the narrative correct, because I think employees are really going to rely on that and able in order to use this system effectively. So down here, we're going to choose the option change of address, and I'm going to say on March 15th, 2023, and I'm not going to worry about that. I don't need to override that. But again, it's saying here that the subscriber has a change in address that affects their health plan availability, and it's not going to be available what they're currently enrolled in their new location. So they're going to have to go ahead and upload a certificate of creditable coverage or proof of former and current address in order to make that plan change. So we're going to go ahead and click on New Event. Okay, so here is that document upload page where I am going to go ahead and select a file to upload proof of that address change. And again, as the benefits administrator, if you have that in hand, then you would not be doing that from here. You would not be uploading anything. You would just be going to the SOE tile and verifying that this event is valid in order for this to be verified. So I'm going to come down here, oops, And as you can see, that document went ahead and uploaded there as well as down here. And it's asking for the document type, and I'm going to say proof of former and current residence. And I am going to say that this document applies to this event, which is a change of address, and I'm going to upload that. It's saying, okay, great, we're confirming that we got those documents. Now let's go ahead and proceed to allowing you to change your coverage. So something really important here is that we're going to go ahead and make an assumption that your employee has already worked with you as their employer to make sure that their address has been updated either in Benefits 24/7 or in the program that your address changes are made that eventually feed over into the Benefits 24/7 system. So that would always have to happen first. And I'm assuming that based on when people have a change in address and they're providing that proof that they have already taken care of doing that with you. So when they get to this screen, it's now going to provide them which plans they can enroll in based on their current address. So based on this SOE, it's saying you have to choose a plan. So we're going to go ahead and say we're going to take the UMP Classic plan. We're going to say next. And then once we get out to the dental plan, as you can see, it's not offering the employee the opportunity to go ahead and make a change because the plan that they were enrolled in before would still be available in their geographical area. So we'll go ahead and click on next. So on this screen, it's just going to show you the new elections, and we're going to confirm and do a review. So as you can see, this employee's changes have been made. Here's the summary, and we're going to go ahead and go down to next. It's going to show the second page of their elections, and then we're just going to do the legal notice review and confirm. It's saying this has all been done, but please go ahead and submit the SOE request for it to be verified. So we'll go ahead and click on that submit request. We're going to go back out to the Benefits Administrator dashboard. And again, remember, if your employees have done this, then it's going to show up as an event on your tile here. If it's one that you've done, then you know it's going to show up as an event here, and you will go ahead and click on that tile. You will go out and find that employee, which I already know which one it is. So it's going to be this one here with the event of changing an address. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. We're going to go down the screen a little bit, and basically it's saying that this employee has some proof of former and current residence because here's their requested change for this mid-year event. They are asking to change their medical plan because they had an address change. So we'll go ahead and click on that, make sure it meets the eligibility requirements. We'll go ahead and close that up in the right-hand corner. We're going to verify that, but again, if you are denying this, you would deny it and you would reach out to your employees for the information you need because there is no automatic notification when something is denied. So we're going to say verified. We're going to show the date as today, the documentation type as proof of former and current residence, and we're going to go ahead and submit that change. And it's just letting you know that that has been updated successfully. So we'll go back out to the Benefits Administrator dashboard. So now that you know how to enter and verify a special open enrollment event in Benefits 24/7, here are those follow-up resources in case you have any questions about Benefits 24/7. So first, you can send us your questions through the HCA support portal, and when you create your ticket, just be sure to select the Benefits 24/7 online enrollment system as your inquiry type. You can also reach out to our outreach and training team at the 800 number that is listed here. And even though we don't have this available yet, there will be a link coming soon to a Benefits 24/7 Benefits Administrator user guide. And finally, we will be continuing to create and post some additional detailed training videos for Benefits 24/7. And just know that the user guide and videos will be located on the PEBB Benefits Administrator website once they become available. And for your employees, again, when they need help with Benefits 24/7, then you as their benefits administrator are going to be their point of contact. So that wraps up our video training on entering and verifying a special open enrollment event in Benefits 24/7. Thank you for watching.